Hey guys, I am back 2 days in a row. What's up? This is my second YouTube video guide for Starcraft2. And this one is going to be about mech control groups. So, specifically, how to control group your army when you are a Mechian Terran or want to play mech or are learning how to play mech. And just like the last one, guys, you can see up on my screen here, I have the LOTV unit tester. This is useful for practicing when you want to do something, but you don't want to have to play out a whole game. So again, make good use of this. It'll help you get better at the game. So what I'm going to do here is LOTV unit tester. You just search for LOTV unit tester. I'm going to create a lobby here, and I'm going to get into the unit tester, and I'm going to show you guys the way I personally control group a mech army. And I think you guys will find this useful for all of you guys that you watch me or you watch anyone else and you want to learn how to play mech, because again, this is stuff that this is like secret knowledge, man. This is you're basically getting free coaching sessions when I do this. Yeah, it's for those of you that are want to play mech, besides the production setup and all that stuff, which again I'll do that in another video, but this video is specifically how should I hotkey my mech army. And if you don't know what hotkeys are, maybe we should go over that first. This will be a little bit of a mini tutorial, but basically, so for example, let's get 5 tanks here. Let's get 5 tanks, and let's get 5 Vikings, for example. So if I want to hotkey units, you select them, hold the control key, and then you press 1, 2, 3, 1 through 0, whatever you want to hotkey them to. And then what that does is it saves it in game memory. So I can double tap 1, and it'll, even if I don't have these units selected, now I hotkey these to 1, 2, and 3. I can double tap 1, and it'll center my screen on that control group. So that's that's a little mini control group lesson for those of you that don't know about hotkeys. Again, I'll have to make another video about that. I should have done that one before this one, but anyways. How do you control group a mech army? And you need to know this, because if you get in a game, you have to already have this built up. This is how you go from bronze to silver to gold. This is how you rank up. So this will help you out a lot, guys. So let's get a stereotypical mech army here. So let's get a bunch of tanks, a couple Thors in there. Let's get a couple Hellions as well, and let's make 10 Vikings, and let's have a couple Ghosts, because this is a stereotypical mech army. So, how should I control group these? So basically, the way I do it is, I have tanks, Thors, and Hellions on 1. So I'll hotkey all those to 1. So, if you watch my last video on Control and Shift, using the Control and Shift keys to deselect units and select units, I'm going to control-click the Vikings and move them over here. And then all these, I'm going to select them all. I don't want the Ghosts in there, so I hold Control, press Shift, left-click the Ghosts, so they're deselected. And now, I'm going to hold Control and press 1. So now all these are on number 1. All my tanks, Thors, and Hellions. Now you might be wondering, why these units on? Why do you have just these on? The way Starcraft works is, whenever you control group certain units in a control group, certain units take priority. If I have a Ghost in this control group, let's say I have all these selected, you'll notice in the bottom right, the Ghost is taking priority. So if I want to siege my tanks or whatever, I can't right now, because the Ghost takes priority. It's a higher priority unit than in the tanks and the Thors and the Hellions. This is very, very important, because if I'm playing a game and I move my army and I want to siege right now, I can't, because the Ghost it would EMP. It has the Ghost is selected, the Ghost abilities. So that's why I have all these selected, because siege tanks take priority over Thors and Hellions. You'll notice it's a common thing in StarCraft. The units with the higher tech units usually take priority in a control group. Now, you can press the tab key. If I did have the Ghost in here, I could press tab, And then that would go to the tanks. I could press tab. That would go to the Hellions. Tab, go to the Thors. Tab would go back to the Ghosts. So you can tab through to have, you know, a certain unit take priority. But you don't want that in a real game because that takes a split second, and you might need your tanks sieged immediately at that moment. So this is how I hotkey them: Thors, tanks, and Hellions on 1. So that way, if I'm moving, press the E key, and my tanks will siege. And when you're playing mech, sieging your tanks is probably one of the most important things in the game. Being able to So there you go. So that's Control Group 1. Control Group 2, I usually have air units on. My Vikings, my anti-air. Vikings, Liberators, Ravens, I'll usually put on 2.
I like it.
Usually I'll put Liberators on a different hotkey. But basically air units on 2. So I now have 1 is my main army, 2 is my air units, and then 3 are my ghosts in mid and late game whenever I do have ghosts. So 1, 2, 3. So there you go. That's pretty much how for, you know, changing the Thors, I usually just control select them, and then I'll change them. And then same thing with Hellions. Usually just control select them. But I can go 1E or 1D to unsiege, 2 to select and micro my Vikings, and then 3 to select my ghosts. So 1A, 2A, 3A, 1A, 2A, 3A, 1A, 2A, 3A. So if I'm engaging and I want to siege, I press 1E to siege. Press 3 to select my ghost. EMP, EMP, EMP. Launch a nuke. Things of this nature. So that's how you want to. This is how you want to hotkey your armies, guys. So if I have like Vikings in here, I want to hold shift and then deselect the Vikings in the bottom in the portrait frames, and then control 1 my army to re-hotkey it to 1, and then same thing. Control click the Vikings, hotkey them 2. Select the ghost, or control click the ghost, hotkey them to 3. Very, very important.
Yes, sir.
Now, usually, and then so let me add in the final. Me personally, my final hotkey, and I'll put in for the. You know, I call this the backdoor babe squad. Since Banshees are a female unit. Usually I'll have my tanks, Thors, and Hellions on 1. Vikings on 2, Ghosts on 3, so I can EMP, press 1 to siege, 1E siege, 2, and then aim with Vikings, and then the Vikings control 4, and me personally, I use the 4 key for any units that I'm like sending on the map to harass, so for me, it honestly changes. Like, if I have a group like these Hellions, sometimes if I'm playing a game, I will have like, for me, it's what I like to call my dynamic hotkey. I'll just hotkey pretty much anything that I'm harassing the opponent with. I will hotkey to 4. So that constantly changes for me. If I want to send it, you know, 1A, 2A, 3A, and then 4 is my harassment group, so I can keep track of that. You know, that will change depending on what, you know, game to game. That's how I use the 4 key. It's just my dynamic hotkey. It just change. So if I might change it to these Banshees. When I finally have Banshees, I'll have these on 4, and then that'll be my group of units on the map that I'm doing stuff. Well, I'll have my main army, 1A, 2A, 3A, again. You know. And yeah, so there you go, guys. So that is how you hotkey that's how I hotkey, and I would recommend you do it like this too. That's how I hotkey a Terran mech army. I would recommend you do that as well. Seems to be the simplest and most efficient way to do it, and it'll save you a lot of games, because again, you don't want to be moving your whole army and then you can't siege your tanks because you have Ghosts and Vikings selected. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you want for the next guide tomorrow. I could do a guide on bio, which is pretty much the same thing, except instead of tanks and Thors, you have Marine Marauders and Medevacs on 1. So I don't know if I really need to do a guide on bio. I could. It's another YouTube video, I guess, but let me know in the comments what you want for the next video. Let me know if this helped you out, and do this in your games. You know, hotkey, you know, tanks and Thors and Hellions on 1, Vikings, air units, Liberators, Ravens on 2, Ghosts on 3. You can reverse those if you want. You know, it's personal preference. You can have your air units on 3 and your Ghosts on 2. It's honestly personal preference. And then 4, I would recommend
it doesn't have to be the number 4 for you. It could be any, it could be whatever. But I recommend having a hotkey that you personally have in the game that just dynamically changes from game to game. Like if you have let's say like 2 liberators on the map, you hotkey those to 4, and that's and that'll change from game that'll change in the game situationally depending on what units you have on the map that you're harassing the opponent with. I highly recommend you have at least one through 0. Make at least one of those a what I like to call a dynamic hotkey that changes depending on what you are attacking the opponent with. But then have your main army on 1, Ghosts on 3, Vikings on 2, air units on 2, and there you go. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll post this in a moment. I'll be streaming after. I actually am making this right before streaming. So hope you enjoyed, and again, leave comments, like the video, and let me know what you want for the next guide, and hopefully this has helped you out. I will see you guys later. Peace out, peoples. See you later.